So the Knicks are looking at who on the coaching front? Because you're hearing that who's the individual who's on the staff that they really like and they're concerned about being poached, and there's word that they're afraid they might lose him and he could be the next guy. Although I'm sure Knicks fans are looking at some big ass names at least. What's the search looking like, James? Walk me through it.
So I think you're referencing Johnny Bryant,
yes,
who was on the staff last year and left this past season for Cleveland. He was just up. He was a finalist for the Phoenix job. Listen, there are assistant coaches in this league who I know do a lot and would be able to somewhat vouch for their opportunity to be a head coach. I think a lot of fans get enamored with what they don't know, right? Like, we always want to see the rookie. We want to see the guy who hasn't played. Like, let's see what he looks like. It's the same thing with assistant coaches. I know a little bit, and other reporters do, because we're around the assistant coaches. We know how much they do, but your general NBA or sports fan doesn't really know how much the other assistant coach does, right? So that is a name that is a potential candidate. He has been in the system. He is a guy that was brought in by Worldwide West a few years ago. So that's definitely possible. Now, people have mentioned Mike Malone. I don't see that happening.
Why?
To me, that's like firing Tibbs and hiring Tibbs. Very similar how they go about their business. Both great coaches. I'm not saying that as a knock by any means, but kind of from the same tree. One of Tibbs's mentors was Brendan Malone. That's Michael Malone's father. Both are very much like have a plan and stick to their plan. Both play their starters a lot. If that is an issue for the front office, like Mike Malone has shown to do that too. It feels like when you do these coaching searches, if you go from like the old school coach, the next coach is the young, imaginative coach. When you move on from that coach, you go back to the old school coach. So I just don't see that happening. Taylor Jenkins is the name to watch. Obviously, he had success in Memphis, but you want to learn, why did they kind of run him out of town? He's another CAA guy. Obviously, there's people that know the Knicks' CAA ties run strong. James Borrego's a name to watch. I think Sean Sweeney in Dallas, who has been with Jason Kidd at every stop, and a guy I covered in Detroit that is well respected and very good and close friends with Giannis Antetokounmpo and helped him become the player that he is. Mike Nori in Minnesota, who's another guy that – go ahead, I'm sorry.
What about Jay Wright? What about him? What about going big, massive?
Yeah.
What do you got for me, James?
So this is my thing with Jay Wright. I'm not going to say it's not possible. It sounds like to me, from all the stuff, whenever you hear Jay Wright talk about coaching, he's fine where he's at. But even more than that, if you're – maybe they do. This is just me talking. If you're Jalen, Josh, and Mikal, do you want your college coach as your NBA coach? Like, it's like you're out on your own now. Like, maybe I could see that being a little weird. The other thing is, if there's talks about the clickiness throughout the organization, there's nothing more clicky than the Villanova guys getting their Villanova coach, right? Like, I think obviously maybe there would be roster moves to come, but I don't think, like, for a situation if there were in fact players uneasy with Jalen's dad being around, like, will they be any less uneasy with the Villanova guys coach being around? Like, that's something you have to consider. So Jay Wright is a phenomenal coach. I think he deserves an opportunity if he wants one, but I think there are other things to consider with that too.
Dan Hurley?
I don't see it. Again, I think one of the best offensive minds in the sport. I don't know about the personality. He's a bit outspoken. The Knicks as an organization don't necessarily like the most outspoken of people when they're behind microphones. I just think that one would be kind of hard to rein in.
So basically, you fire Tibbs to either bring in another Tibbs, or you bring in who's Michael Malone, or you bring in some other people who might be out there who may or may not be a fit after all, or you go
get somebody from another team.
Right.
Jason Kidd has a relationship with Jalen Brunson, and obviously weird stuff going on in Dallas. Maybe I don't know this. Maybe he would like to try another opportunity. But yeah, it's not like this isn't the greatest coaching cycle in terms of proven names that find a good blend of newness, but also have had success. So they're either going to have to take a risk or double down and get another person that was somewhat similar to Tibbs.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.